All right, folks, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to yet another episode of the Husker Hype Radio podcast. I'm Eddie Rosenthal, joined by my fellow Husker hypesters, Aaron Worsfold and Dr. E-Rock. Fellas, the news is finally broken. It's out. Dylan RAIOLA is a Nebraska Cornhusker. Oh my God, baby, let's fucking go.
Let's go, boys.
Cue the music. It's happening.
Is it even real?
It's real. It's
Start
real.
pinching myself. Am I dreaming?
We got him. Let's kind of talk about last week, backtrack a little bit. I mean, folks, we're sorry we brought immense hype that last broadcast, and we're wrong about pretty much everything. So we let our emotions get to the best of us. But I mean, we were right about Dylan RAIOLA. We were right about the improv little speech that we had between Donnie, Matt Rule, and Dylan. That was all correct and 100% true. But the other things, folks, Kyle McCord is not going to be a Husker. Going to Syracuse. Ooh. Let's talk about Kyle McCord a little bit. Do you guys think that Matt Rule said, hey, buddy,
That's what I think.
I kind of think that as well, man. I kind of think they said, you know what? We didn't expect to get Dylan. Dylan dropped the ball on us, said, I got scarlet in my motherfucking blood, as Aaron said yesterday on that Husker Hype Radio video that fired me up.
Yeah, yes.
He's got scarlet in his blood, and Matt Rule said, okay, change of plans. Let's go to plan AAA, what we always wanted at the first start. And Kyle, you and your daddy, why don't you go ahead and go over to upstate New York and play for the Orange? We got you know.
And what a downgrade that was. Ohio State to Nebraska to Syracuse. Come on.
I know, man. And is it, do you think, I think it's a little mixture of both, where Matt Rule said, hey, we'll still, you can still come to Nebraska, but by the way, Dylan RAIOLA is coming. And I feel like maybe Kyle was like, okay, these guys obviously want the number one quarterback in the nation. They aren't as ecstatic about me anymore. So I'm going to go play and get a guaranteed starting spot.
Mm-hmm.
But that's also a guy that you don't want on your team when you want to go, hey, I want a guaranteed starting spot. I don't want to compete at all. That's kind of somebody, that's a telltale sign of a guy that, maybe really isn't fit for the Nebraska culture, to want to compete, to want to be better, to want to drop.
You can't knock the kid either. He's only got 1 year left. Nebraska doesn't want a 1 year loan. And if you're him, you want to put up a stupid amount of stats in a shitty conference so you look better for the draft.
Right. And I think it's a good decision for both sides. Like you said, Aaron, we don't really want a 1 year quarterback. That was kind of our plan C. I'm guessing, like, hey, let's go pick up this guy, Kyle McCord, a proven winner, 11-1. But now we got Dylan, and all is good in the world. That's Kyle. We talked about Julian Fleming as well, kind of what we thought was going to be a package deal between those two, which apparently isn't. Julian Fleming, he's not going to Syracuse. So no. Julian Fleming, I guess it's most likely Penn State, but I'm going to say this. I don't think that Nebraska's out of the picture. I really don't think Nebraska's out of the picture. I mean, we got some momentum going with Dylan, and hey, let's go catch balls from an 18-year-old, Like maybe that's what he's about. He might be about that. Billy Kemp is going to the draft, so Julian would probably most definitely be our number one receiver.
Yeah.
If that happened, I mean, hopefully we get Marcus Washington back, but I don't think that's really in his hands. It's up to the NCAA at this point. But yeah, Julian Fleming, that would be sick if we picked him up. And then Princewell, I'm a little disappointed about this one. This one's probably the most I'm really disappointed about this, man. I mean, I just think that the story would be so much better. Yeah, Ole Miss is picking up, they're the king of the transfer portal. Lane Kiffin and Ole Miss pick up every good transfer player, but how good of a story would that be if you got the Fresh Prince brothers on the black shirt defense? I mean, that would have been so sick, dude.
It's a good story, but at the same time, if there's a position that I want to miss on somebody, it's the defensive line.
Yeah, I mean, we got guys back there still, but so we don't obviously need him, but he is the number one edge transfer for this portal this year. So I mean, he's a fucking dog, and he would have played, but James Williams, he's still a dog, and he's only played 4 games last season, made an immediate impact.
Cam Lenhart,
Cam Lenhart, Prince Will. I mean, but the Fresh Prince brothers, that just would have been fucking so sick.
yeah, it would have been.
So yeah, sorry guys, we were wrong about that. Whoop-de-doo.
The doctor's wrong sometimes.
Yeah,
I prescribed the wrong drugs.
Yeah, sometimes they prescribe the wrong drugs, and I was on those drugs, fucking getting. I was on the hype drug.
Yeah, well, that's
And
what
it got
happens when you're a
tested.
Husker hypester. It's like, what do you expect? We
Well, and
we,
also-
we react immediately to news and we get fucking thrilled. That's our job.
That is
Yeah.
very true.
And all of Twitter was about it too. And I mean, you got Hayes Fawcett going, it is very likely, Kyle, 90% chance. Everybody's saying 90% chance Kyle McCord to Nebraska, you know, and Prince Well and Julian Fleming as well. But hey, shit happens. It's a new week, and we got Dylan.
I
And
do
that's
think
all.
we're still gonna get another big name tomorrow.
Oh
Who you
yeah.
who you thinking? Are you saying someone specifically or just in general?
Really the most likely I think, which we have a lot of depth already in the recruiting class, is Brandon Baker, number one tackle in the nation.
That would be sick. I think Brandon kind of like Dylan, where you know it's I want to go to this powerhouse school. I want to compete and win right away, but there's something it was lingering inside of him, man. I got scarlet in my blood. I want to play for the motherfucking Cornhuskers, baby. And now Brandon's like, all right, Dylan did it. You know, I mean, let's join him.
Uh-huh.
Number one offensive tackle, number one fucking quarterback. What a duo that would be. Horns down,
Yeah.
black shirts up.
The only thing that would have made this news a little sweeter is if it would have came out like a month ago. Because then all these
Yes.
motherfuckers would have been like, yo, number one quarterback going to Georgia or from Georgia to Nebraska, or whatever it is. That would have helped out the case a lot. Or if you could
Yes.
recruit a little bit.
And yeah, that's true. National Signing Day is tomorrow, but that's early National Signing Day. The other National Signing Day is February 20th.
Mm-hmm.
So the recruiting's still happening. It's not all going to end tomorrow. Like guys really don't need to sign tomorrow, but it's a day where a lot of players will be signing.
So is the point of the early National Signing Day just so like they can get in January or in the spring and shit?
Yep.
Yeah, early enrollees. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So I mean, we got February 20th.
Is Dylan coming? Is he fucking signing tomorrow? Does he even know that news? I didn't see that part.
Oh yeah. Yeah, buddy's gonna be there for the spring semester for sure.
And so is Danny K. Let's go.
So is Danny K. Danny K staying too, man.
Yeah, he can go hold RAIOLA's jockstrap for him now the whole 4 years until he gets some playing time.
Hey, maybe three. If Dylan just pops off, then we got Danny K.
I hope so.
But I really respect Danny K for doing that, for staying, honoring his commitment, and maybe he thinks he's got that dog in him. It's a competition until week 1, Like
look at Nebraska this year. We played 3 quarterbacks anyway. He might fuck around and get the job after, God forbid, someone gets hurt.
Right,
Or some
injuries
shit.
happen too. So let's talk about this quarterback room. This quarterback room next year? Is Chuba staying after the news? I mean, it's only a day after, but it's been pretty much known for about a week. Chuba graduated the other day, so he can still do his grad transfer thing. But I mean, Dylan, yes, he's the number one quarterback in the 2024 class, but that's also a true freshman starting at any program is pretty hard. And Chuba Birdie's been playing college football for 4 or 5 years. So what do we think this quarterback room, early prediction. Who do we think gets that QB1 spot week 1 against who is it? Kent State?
Is it UTEP?
UTEP.
Yes, UTEP, yep.
UTEP. Week 1, UTEP starting quarterback for the University of Nebraska will be who?
Aaron, go ahead.
God damn it, E-Rock. If I'm Chuba, if I'm putting myself in his shoes, I'm gone. I think I'm gone. Just so you can like for sure have your play. It's kind of the same idea that we put on Kyle McCord. I think Chuba's gone. He wants to go play somewhere. Doesn't want to do the ticky-tack bullshit that he's put up with the last couple of years. I think starting quarterback, my gut tells me Dylan Raiola. I think Danny K probably won't see the field more than 4 games next year, so he'll probably redshirt. And then I think Harburg is going to be our backup. If I'm going based just off my laurels here.
Okay. I think if Chuba does transfer, I do like that where we get I should we call him the doctor? DR? The doctor? What's
Dr.
what's Dylan Raiola's nickname? What's it? DR15? 15. That was a number I was kind of surprised about that he chose too. What's the significance of 15? Tommy Frazier?
Is Patrick Mahomes 15?
Patrick Mahomes is 15. Tommy Frazier 15.
Was Tim Tebow? No, Tim Tebow wasn't 15,
Tim
was
Tebow's 15.
Tim
Tim
Tebow's
Okay,
Tebow
15.
was 15.
he?
That's a
I
good
know
number, man.
he posted a lot of the Bible quotes, so maybe he's a Tim Tebow fan. Maybe that's what 1.5's for.
And Tommy Frazier.
When we get him on the podcast, we'll ask him that question. Put that on the list of questions to ask.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Yes. We will ask Dylan that question. Raiola. I don't know. We'll think of a
We'll
good
think
name.
of it. Well, yeah, we'll brainstorm and we'll have a good one. And we'll be the first ones there. And when everybody uses that, they have to put quotations Husker Hype Radio.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you think about the quarterback room, boys?
So like I said, if Chuba does transfer, I do like Dylan Raiola starting. Danny K. I would switch Danny K to being second string. Don't use him if everything goes right, if Dylan doesn't get hurt for more than 4 games. So he redshirts. Dylan plays the majority of the snaps, and then Harbaugh third string, but we see him on the field a lot playing, a tight end role, wildcat, something where I do really think, I don't think that Heinrich next year or the years coming will be primarily a quarterback, Taysom Hill-esque role,
Mhm.
and Taysom Hill, where, yeah, he can throw the ball, you can put him back there, and it's almost like, okay, Heinrich has been a quarterback before, but he can also lower his shoulder and truck some motherfucking middle linebackers over,
Yeah.
And also, if he's not getting the ball as much as he did last year, a majority of the runs every game, he's got fresher legs. He'll get ready to pound people a little easier because he's not being used every single fucking play. You like that? He's
Yeah.
gonna pound him, dude. So
Pause.
Dylan number 1, Danny number 2, Heinrich number 3, if need be, if worse comes to worse.
That makes me nervous. That's 2 freshman quarterback and Harburg, man. That makes my tight butthole.
But if Chuba doesn't transfer, if Chuba doesn't transfer, I think that this spring and fall going in, like that could be a real competition in the quarterback room, Dylan and Chuba. Just with Chuba's experience, and he's a Purdy. And I really don't think Brock Purdy popped off until his last year,
I mean, Iowa State just fucking sucks, so.
That's true, but they did pop off and win some big games when Brock Purdy was there.
Couple games against Texas. They got up for a couple games against Texas. I think Oklahoma 1 year. E-Rock, what's your opinion, man?
I think Chuba stays, actually. I think after coming to this year, they brought in John or Jeff, don't even know his name anymore. That Sims guy, whoever that guy was. Came in, he was behind Sims. I think he stays because if you're him, like you said, and you're a true freshman coming, 18-year-old, you can't beat him out. I mean, buddy, you're not going to the NFL, so you got to prove it now. I think he stays. I think Raiola beats him out in camp. I think Raiola starts game 1. He's the best recruit we got and since 2000, before I was alive. So
Yeah, that's good. Or maybe this first game against UTEP. Week 2 is Colorado, or is that week 3?
3. Hold on. I have the schedule right in front of me. Week
Okay.
2. Week 2.
Week
Oh wait,
2.
nope.
So
Excuse me. I'm looking. What the? No, I'm looking at the wrong year. Sorry, boys. I'll get you that set.
if this quarterback competition is bonkers and it's back and forth, week 1 we go against UTEP, we go quarter by quarter, Raiola, Purdy. Whoever plays best in that first game gets the starting spot against fucking Dion's Colorado football team. I'm not even calling the Buffaloes because Dion apparently doesn't like tradition, and
The Colorado Dions.
the Colorado Dions, yeah.
Week 1's UTEP. Week 2 Colorado.
Okay. So yeah, dude, it's gonna be sick, and I'm pretty fired up. I think this quarterback room, if Chuba stays, 4 guys who all have game experience except for Dylan, but he's the number 1 quarterback. Oh, by the way, only threw 11 interceptions in his whole entire high school career, and I think we had 16 interceptions this whole fucking season, boys.
And he was playing Georgia football, not Nebraska football.
He was playing Georgia football. He was playing Arizona football as well. I
Yeah.
mean, this dude, he wasn't playing against fucking nobodies, like you said, in Ainsworth, Nebraska. No, he wasn't playing against fucking 95-pound little fucking farm fellers who, whatever, blah, 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 here, there, everywhere. He was playing against some guys who are going to Georgia, who are going to Alabama, who are going to SEC schools.
Yeah.
Here's another one that we were talking about a little bit. Dylan RAIOLA who I would like to see bring another guy from Mater Dei, Brandon Baker's teammate, Nate Frazier,
Oh.
number 1 running back in the state of California, probably a top 5 running back in the nation.
I think he's number 1 in his class.
Number one running back in the whole class. Okay. And he right now it's a good chance that he's going to commit to Georgia.
Yeah.
But also Dylan flipped from Georgia. Nebraska was one of the first 3 teams to offer Nate Frazier last year in January. Alabama and Utah were the other teams. And I think in the summer, like Nate Frazier, it was kind of a thing where he was possibly going to go to Nebraska.
It was.
It was.
It just sounds right. It just sounds right.
Frazier. We got another motherfucking Frazier in the backfield, dude. Touchdown, Frazier. Running the option. Frazier.
Fireball.
Fireball Frazier. That's what we'll call him. We'll call him Fireball.
That one's easy.
Yep, that one's easy right there. But yeah, dude. So that would be sick.
Yeah.
That I think Nate Frazier. That's you say Brandon Baker. I'm gonna my prediction. Nate Frazier flips. He's not committed anywhere yet, but his crystal ball, whatever, is Georgia.
He announced on Twitter going to Georgia.
He did.
That was like a month or 2 ago.
Okay. And also for the whole entire fucking year, Dylan RAIOLA said he's going to Georgia. So you know
That's true.
You know what that is.
That's true.
Words are words until it's written on paper where you're going to fucking school, play college ball, and it's going to be in Nebraska. Here's going back to the quarterback room really quick. I do think if Kyle McCord came to Nebraska, that I would be less optimistic about Chuba staying.
Yeah,
For sure.
For sure. So I think that news, it's a lot more likely that Chuba does stay and competes with a true freshman quarterback rather than a guy who's won 11 games at Ohio State. Although Dylan RAIOLA is the reason probably Kyle McCord left, I just think that it's a better opportunity and something more welcoming for Chuba to stay than for them to bring in a transfer quarterback who's played college football already.
Mhm.
And if somehow we get Julian Fleming, that'd make me feel a lot better about not getting Kyle McCord.
Yeah, that would
sucks.
I think, dude, and I think that we might just have to throw Julian Fleming a bag. I wouldn't be mad about that. I saw today that the 1890 initiative, bro, people like just Nebraska from 48 states,
Yeah.
1890 initiative has raised $810,000 from donors, not like the big name donors, just fucking fans donating their hard-earned blue collar money.
Dude, I would try
Billy
to donate
Bob
this
Joe.
week. I tried to donate this week. The week didn't work, but I'm gonna after this pot, I'm donating money.
Yeah.
I'm not
I,
gonna say how much I donated after RAIOLA, but it was an unresponsible amount of money that I'm probably gonna regret.
This is a tax write-off. You're all right. It's a donation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. Yeah.
We got that. And also, folks, we're not sponsored. We will be soon, but go ahead and get yourself some pipeline beef jerky. I bought a box for my parents and everybody who lives at the Rosenthal house, but pipeline beef jerky, that's gonna sponsor the fucking offensive line NIL fund exclusively. And I haven't had
It's
cornhead.
Cornhead Lager, baby.
That's
18.
1890 right there. You're drinking funds right there, bud.
Jesus
Drinking funds.
Christ.
Where do you get those at, Eli? Go ahead and tell the fans where you get your cornhead lager at.
The good old Hy-V here, local Hy-V in Gretna, Papillion. That's where I get mine at.
I'm
Okay.
gonna get myself.
Yeah, I might need you boys to maybe ship out a sixer for me. I want to try that.
These were made in La Vista, Nebraska.
Oh shit.
No
Yep.
way.
Yep.
That's cool. That's cool.
That's pretty cool.
Other recruiting news, we got National Signing Day, so we don't know who's going to sign tomorrow. But as of right now, folks, Nebraska has the number one player in Nebraska, Carter Nelson, the number one player in Iowa, in Grant Bricks, the number one player in Hawaii, in Preston Tumua,
Dog.
the number one player in Georgia, Dylan Raiola, and the number one player, hopefully in California, in Nate Frazier or Brandon Baker. I don't know who's the number one out of those two guys, but it's got to be one of those two. I'm guessing.
You said Montana too, right?
No, I did not say Montana. Who's in Montana?
I believe his name's Quinn Clark, wide receiver, like 6'5", 190, or 6'3". I think it's 6'5".
I also saw today that Max Preps awarded Keelan Smith, one of our tight end recruits, as the number one player. He's not recruiting rankings wise, but
Player of the
year, Keelan Smith in the state of Missouri. So those are good numbers, man. And Matt Rule, I don't know how that guy he's just got some fucking swagger, huh, dude?
Oh yeah.
He's a cool ass dude, bro. Like I want to just be a fly on the wall in freaking, Preston Tumu's living room when they got him or when they got, I mean, Georgia or Dylan Raiola, yeah, it is him probably recruiting him very well, but also like his dad and uncle playing or being coaches and playing for Nebraska helped out tremendously. But I'm still for sure, like no doubt about
Did we already talk about this last week that his uncle got a raise? I think we talked
Yes.
about that. Yeah.
We did. And I heard rumors like that his uncle after it was kind of like said and done, like he stayed at Dylan's house for a whole week so that nobody could come over and visit and try to flip him. Cause like, they knock on the door. Kirby's coming and knocking on the door, or old fucking Billy Napier's coming knocking on
Get
the door.
the fuck out of here, boy.
Yeah. Hey, I'm Danny Raiola.
My lawn.
Hey, I'm Danny. I'm the head coach or the O-line coach for Nebraska. How are you? You want my nephew to go to
Wow.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. That's pretty sick. What else do we think here, boys? I mean, here's something interesting about the Dylan Raiola recruit. What do we know about Adam D. Michelle? What is up with Adam D. Michelle? Do you think that he is the offensive analyst for Nebraska, kind of specializes in quarterbacks. He was at Temple for like 10 years, I believe. Matt Rule hired him at Temple, stayed there. He made the switch to Nebraska last year. I think he played in the NFL for a little bit for the Eagles, played a lot of Canadian football. Do you think that he had a big part in recruiting Dylan Raiola? And what do you think his job was there? Because he looks like he has a lot of swagger too.
I think him and Raiola, like you said, Matt Rule's got to be a cool fucking guy. Raiola, think about the best recruits we've gotten, in my opinion. Talmunga, that's how you say his last name. Raiola got him. Grant Bricks, Raiola got him. And then obviously Dylan Raiola, Raiola got him. So I think that was the best decision Matt Rule made so far, is keeping somebody that the fan base is like, nah, get the fuck rid of him, because it's paying off. But with D. Mitchell, he played for the Eagles a little bit, played Canadian football, been around the game for a while, got that quarterback mindset. So if Raiola liked him, I feel comfortable with him being that quarterback coach.
Yeah. Do we think that maybe over the spring or something we see him being promoted to quarterbacks coach and Marcus Satterfield kind of just taking the offensive coordinator role?
Yeah, I think that's gonna happen.
Yeah, I kind of am picturing that as well. Seems like a cool cat. Posted a picture in front of Dylan Raiola's locker the other day, and he got that. Dude, why does Nebraska, like, the merch for the fans is so shitty, but then the coaches wear the coolest shit that we can't get a hold of? I don't understand. Why can't we have the same merch that the coaches have?
Dude, I
I
agree.
don't know.
I've thought
That's
about that before too. Because I'm trying to look up like some of the old throwback shit that they wear sometimes too, and I'm like, I want a fucking breaker like that.
Yeah. Like eBay has like some cool like old like retro shit, but the stuff that they're wearing now, just like the huge Huskers print with the football underneath, like that's fucking badass. But apparently that's not for the fans. It's like, dude, that would be sold out in the first day that they put that shit online.
yeah. You want some NIL money? Fuck, put that
Yeah, give
jack the
us.
prices up. I'll pay.
I'll pay $100 for that fucking sweater, dude. I'll fucking wear that shit every day until it turns fucking brown like my Randy's hat. Aaron, you know what I'm. Yeah, dude. Um, what else do we got here, folks? Other Husker news. I see you putting the doc here, Aaron. We got Mickey Joseph going to Grambling State, head coach over there. Good for Mickey. Salute, Mickey.
The one I don't like it is the Scott Frost rumors to Iowa as the offensive coordinator. Eddie, if that happens, I disavow Scott Frost
Dude,
entirely.
if that happens, I'll cut my dick off because it's not going to happen, dude.
I'm gonna write that down.
Not going to happen.
Eddie cuts his dick off.
I'm telling you right now, Scott Frost is not going to be an Iowa Hawkeye. Never, never, ever will be. That news is just, I feel like him and Kirk Ferentz, that's just not a mix of personalities. No way in hell would Kirk Ferentz ever hire Scott Frost, dude. I just think that them being foes as head coaches and him kind of joining the dark side, that's just not a story that I see happening. Or even the offense that Scott Frost likes to run, you think about him as the offensive coordinator at Oregon with speed
Yeah,
and fucking like that just doesn't mix at Iowa. And we saw Wisconsin try to do it this year. Luke Fickle bringing in the speed as at a place that is historically known for being run the damn ball down your
yeah,
throat.
I agree with that, Ed.
Didn't really work out that well this year for them. So I just can't see that happening. Scott Frost going to Iowa. No way.
I agree. Those philosophies do not match. It's ball control football, and Scott Frost does not play ball control football.
No.
One more thing for these Iowa fans. It's gonna be a bad time to be a fucking Hawkeye, buddy. It's gonna be a
Oh, yeah.
real bad time.
Oh yeah.
It's
It's not
gonna be a real bad time.
they're so pissed off. I'm seeing them on Twitter and go, yeah, have fun with your quarterback. Hopefully you can play every single position on the offense. It's like, dude, we probably have better guys than you in every position on offense besides quarterback. And now we finally got the quarterback, the one position that we fucking needed. And this guy's a true freshman. You have fun with Deacon Hill and old washed out McNamara. I'll stick with DR. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll
Yeah.
stick with DR. I'm just it's out of jealousy, dude. It's out of spite. They're mad. They want Dylan Raiola.
Well, they know
I,
Kirk Ferentz time's coming to an end.
That's true too.
Yeah, I feel like Kirk's probably got less than 5 years for sure.
Another thing that Kirk Ferentz said, I saw he was post practice little question thing, and he said, there's a guy who's coming in the Big Ten talking about Lincoln Riley and saying, I don't care what our pass run ratio is. I care about our win loss ratio. And guys who usually pass the ball a lot don't really end up winning a lot of games. It's harder on the defense, it's harder on the offense. Passing plays are lower efficiency than running plays are. So I think Kirk Ferentz is going to stick to his bread and butter, not care if they only score 20 points a game, and just do his thing until he retires, which is maybe in 1, 2, 3 years at max, I would say. But you said Arizona State, Aaron. I didn't hear about that. I could see Scott Frost landing at Arizona State. He already bought like an $8 million house there. So I could probably see Scott Frost landing there, but Iowa, I just think that's not, no way. No way.
The other Big Ten news is it's fucking bowl season, boys. I'm sitting here, I'm sad. I'm looking at other people play bowls. There's a game on tonight.
Oh,
Fucking
we do?
Northwestern plays Utah, Bowling Green, Minnesota. Minnesota's a 5-17. They still gonna do a bowl game. Rutgers has got Miami, Ohio State, and Missouri. That'll be a good game. Ole Miss, Penn State, Auburn, Maryland, Iowa, Tennessee, Wisconsin, LSU. That's an interesting one. Wisconsin, LSU, and that's the main Big Ten ones that are not the playoffs.
What's the one tonight?
It's some just fucking shitty bowl game it's still fucking football though, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and tune into that one. Shit.
Yeah, UTSA versus Marshall at 8 p.m. So
Woo!
here in about 20 minutes.
Hell yeah. Let's go ahead and give our predictions, thoughts on the playoff games. Who do you guys got? Rose Bowl in Pasadena, California. I was really thinking about going to this one, guys. Really, really thinking about it, but tickets are like 600 fucking bucks
Holy shit.
for the end zone, like all the way up. Last time I checked. Let's check now. You guys go ahead. What do you think about it?
Who's even
Doctor,
playing it?
I'll let the doctors prescribe it. It's Alabama, Michigan's the Rose Bowl.
Oh, I think Michigan gets it. I think Michigan gets it done.
Yeah.
I I've changed my narrative on that. I hope Michigan wins it all. Jim Harbaugh goes to the NFL. Nebraska takes over the Big Ten, but I think Michigan wins by 10 to 13 points.
Damn. I feel like the college football fan in me says Alabama wins because it's Nick Saban in Alabama, but the
Yeah,
Big Ten fanatic in me says Michigan's gonna win. So I picked Michigan.
Yeah, I want to go with Michigan too, but it's just the thing in the playoffs, in any big game, you can never count Nick Saban out, which kind of scares me. Like, I don't want them to sneak into the playoffs, kick Florida State out, and then the committee goes, oh, yeah, we were right. The number 4 seed who we kicked out because of Florida State wins the fucking playoffs. Like, how shitty would that be? And
Mhm.
that game against Auburn was complete bullshit. Nick Saban somehow, or Jaden Milrose, somehow swept that out. Like, that would fucking suck. But hopefully Jimmy Harbaugh and the boys get it done. Big Ten wins a playoff national championship. That'd be
The
sick.
the other game I feel like it's not a hard prediction, which might make me dumb, is Texas Washington.
What do which I have no idea which way you would go on this. Who are you saying?
I feel like Washington's gonna kick their ass.
I
I
hope so.
I want Washington to win as well. But then it's kind of the thing where Washington's played Pac-12 football. They beat Oregon twice, which is basically a Big Ten team right now. Like, those guys don't play pussy Pac-12 football. But Texas also has huge dudes, 5-star guys. I think that this game is going to be closer than Alabama versus Michigan. I think both games are actually going to be very good, but this Texas Washington game I think could go either way,
You
which
would
makes
say
it.
that Alabama versus Michigan's gonna be a closer scoring game than Texas versus Washington?
No, no, no. I'm saying Texas versus Washington is going to be closer than I'm
Oh,
sorry.
okay.
Yeah.
Or
I
yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what you think? You think that Washington and Texas will be a closer score?
Yes, and Washington edges it out and wins in
Huh,
some
that's shocking.
See, the one thing I do agree with
It's
Aaron here,
down, dude. Fuck, I fucking hate Texas. I've never want them to win anything big ever.
No, but to think that you, for some reason, I just see Alabama, Michigan as like a fucking knockout. It's going to be a low scoring game. Well, I feel like Texas or Washington, at some point, someone's going to get up by 2 scores or 17 points.
I think that one's going to be a shootout. Alabama versus Michigan is going to be more of an old school football game.
That's what yeah. I feel like they're both going to be pretty close.
They're
I'd
both,
say
I think
10
they're really
point
good.
margin or less.
Yeah, I think they're both going to be really good games.
I got Washington. What do you guys say? Sorry. Ed's got Washington.
Washington.
I think the receivers for Washington are too good, and that Texas secondary is their soft one. So they don't get any pressure on quarterbacks. You watch their games. So you leave Michael Penix back there. Is it Michael Penix?
Phoenix.
Yeah. Well, Penix.
Phoenix.
He has all
Michael
day.
Phoenix, I tell you that boy throw the football shit.
And then who do you got to win it all? Who do you got to win it all, boys?
Go blue. Can't believe I said that.
I don't know what you said there. My brain didn't process that. Go Big Red, motherfucker.
Let's go Big Red. If Nebraska
Yeah, I think-
didn't exist, I'm saying go blue.
Yeah, I think whoever wins Alabama, Michigan wins it all.
Yeah.
So Michigan.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. Man, it's just hard to see Washington not score points for some reason, but I think you're right. Those defenses are pretty fucking good compared to the Pac-12 that they've been playing.
Well, at the end though, Washington kind of struggled against some teams. Like
They're banged up. They've had time off now. Yeah, a whole month. They're facing injuries like everybody does. They still put
true.
up like what's 34 against Oregon though in the championship.
Yeah. Yeah. It'll be good. January 1st is going to be that'll be fun to watch both of those
Yeah,
games.
and now that football's winding down, all we gotta do is talk about the portal, which fucking sucks, and the bullshit that's not actual football. I had to put in Nebraska basketball is 9-2 right now. We beat Michigan State, and Michigan State beat number 6 Baylor. Nebraska basketball is not looking bad, boys.
Yeah.
For the first time ever. And then the volleyball team, runner up Natties. We did lose to Texas. We got our asses stopped by Texas, but hey, good. They only lost 2 games all year.
Youngest team in college volleyball.
And I guess, dude, they have no seniors. They have like
Yep.
6 freshmen that fucking were starting the whole time. So like next 4 years, Nebraska volleyball is going to be unstoppable.
And the press conference after the game, the girls went up there and they were like, "Yeah, I foresee us winning 3 straight national championships after this." And they're like, "Fuck yeah, fuck yeah."
Dude, it's what I was thinking about. You said talk about the transfer portal, but not necessarily Nebraska, dude. We're really not in that talk. We're at what, and it's cool, kind of what Matt Rule is doing, like in this era of it's hit the transfer portal, go get your guys, have them play for 1 year. No, Matt Rule is really like building a solid foundation. What a lot of other teams aren't doing. They're taking the easy way out, going grabbing guys from different programs, their best players, and pulling them and giving them money. Matt Rule is saying, no, we're going to fucking get guys as freshmen, develop them under our way of how we want to do it, and have these guys as a tight-knit fucking football team and going out and winning, and have guys who are good playing 2, 3, 4 years, I think that's something that not a lot of other teams. I mean, who would be the closest team that's doing it Matt Rule's way? Probably Alabama.
Iowa,
Alabama, yeah.
Georgia.
but even Alabama, dude, like you hear a lot of those guys leaving Alabama, so they're kind of forced to getting guys in the portal because depth charts,
Right.
just being pissed off, just various shit.
Right. So, well, that was another episode of Husker Hype Radio podcast, boys. I think we covered a lot of ground there. National Signing Day is, let's say today, because we're going to upload the pod today, tomorrow, blah, blah, whatever, November 20th, December 20th. Folks,
Hollywood.
I'm Eddie Rosenthal. That's Aaron Worsfold and Dr. E-Rock, the Husker Hype Radio podcast, fellas, with another podcast, episode 33. As always, bleed red, shit corn,
Go Big Red.
Big Red.